The Amazon is the largest carbon sink in the world. It also holds a fifth of the world's water. Destruction of the Amazon by ranchers, farmers, oil miners, the timber industry, and industrial projects deplete this rare carbon sink. As much as 180,000 acres have already been depleted. This increases the effects of global warming because less CO2 is being removed from the atmosphere. Legislation is in place to limit deforestation, although there is a push for countries such as Brazil to create stricter laws. Cattle ranching is known as the #1 reason for deforestation. Cattle ranchers and poor subsistence farmers use a slash and burn method to clear forested areas. This is where they use fire to rid the area of biological matter. Then the plant crops or invasive grass species for pasture. Surprisingly, the soil that supports these plentiful forests have very low amounts of nutrients. It can only support the pasture or crops for 2 or 3 years. After that, the farmers are forced to cut down more forests. Regeneration of these forests can happen, but it takes decades for them to bounce back fully. Poor farmers are able to squat on a piece of land, and if it is in their possession for long enough, then they legally own it. The slash and burn method that they use to clear areas for living space and farming starts forest fires that affect the rest of the forest. Timber companies also clear-cut trees and plants. If they are doing it illegally, they will pick and choose worthwhile trees so it is not obvious that they are cutting the timber. Oil companies drill, and this will cause deforestation for them to clear land to bring drills in. Roads and infrastructure also need cleared land. This gives more access to previously untouched structures of forest. Environmental cops are in charge of patrolling the Amazon for perpetrators of the regulations. Most of the time they are hated for this. Producers and those living in the Amazon believe if they own the land, they should be able to do with it what they would like. This issue is complicated because all of the individuals that are using the forest for their disposal are mostly trying to make a living to survive. Although scientists are seeing what happens as the Amazon is being depleted and they do not agree with it. The Amazon is needed to filter greenhouse gases out of the atmosphere. Therefore, the answer will not come quite as easily. In 2008, a new legislation allowed Brazil to make leaps in the direction away from deforestation. Brazil fashioned a plan called the National Plan for Climate Change. This is where countries like Norway stepped in to create a fund to help Brazil with its possible economic losses associated with decreasing deforestation. Brazil saw great improvements from this, but unfortunately in 2017 a huge rise of deforestation is emerging in Brazil and Bolivia. It is very hard to manage and implement laws regarding deforestation. Solutions fall on corporations and individuals to make a difference. Buying sustainable products and not supporting organizations that do not use sustainable supply lines is a consumer's responsibility. Corporations can make a difference by inspecting their supply lines and not supporting those that require deforestation. Protecting indigenous groups' land would hopefully reduce deforestation. This is typically not done, however. Making changes in regulations at the governmental level would be the most helpful. Looking back over the years, it is evident that this is not as easy an idea as it seems it should be. Hopefully in the future, governments will make strides to protect the environment, even from its own people. This is an issue for the health of the planet and therefore for humankind.